The spellings.
That's right.
By killing the caster.
I remember. Yeah, a
Killed the
fireball was
caster
used
around
as
the
a...
corner.
Didn't I
fireball
use
was
a
used
cat
as
spell?
Yeah, it was used as a counter spell. That's right.
One per level, roughly.
Oh, okay. So
Starting at level 2.
Why is evil so loud?
Have you got me turned up?
No, you're not.
Have you got them turned on?
I'm always turned on.
So
we go.
we are live, by the way.
All right.
Third level costs 5 points.
Well remembered, Mr. Evil.
Yeah, I've never really played this also. I can remember looking at it and going, "Oh, that's expensive."
I do some jiggery fuckery with some sorcery points.
Sure, you can get yourself set up as you need to ahead of tonight.
Ahead of being murdered.
Yeah, I don't know. I still haven't decided how I'm going to play this tonight, other than properly. But, I don't quite know what I'm going to do. All right, we're live. We're all here. So welcome, episode 43. Apologies for anybody who tried to tune in last week and discovered that we weren't live. So apologies. Small family emergency pulled me away from being able to run a game. So let's recap. Not a lot to recap, really. You are still heading roughly downwards beneath the Wilderlands in the Underdark, trying to locate what you believe could be the final place that Jelenoth has ended up in, which is a Mind Flayer colony. Although I think some of you are debating whether that's a sensible idea or not, that's generally the path you're going in. As you've been travelling sort of southeastwards and downwards, you came across a grell nest where battle ensued. And just as you were finishing up kind of dealing with the grell, most of you had this strange sensation that to the northeast of the cavern, or the caverns that you were in, you would find something that would answer your greatest and deepest desires. And as Medistra and I think L'Oreal were sort of heading in that direction, Medistra seemed to kind of get yanked a little bit, and L'Oreal tried to, or something kind of wrapped itself around Medistra, and L'Oreal tried to stop it, and Medistra vanished. You tried hard.
Wait, Medistra vanished? I missed that.
Medistra vanished.
You silly ass. What are you going to do that for?
And
I want you to look at my books.
You appeared, Medistra, in what appears to be a library, surrounded by all the knowledge you could ever want. And as you kind of started to grab one of the books, I think last week I said it felt a bit like stone. That's not entirely true, but it it's certainly cold to the touch. You felt something move behind you, and as you turn, you see this creature. It looks similar to a grell, but unlike the grell, it's certainly not floating, but seems to be walking on several of these giant tendrils. And then it vanishes. And that's where we'll pick up. We're not going to roll for initiative, as I said last week. We are doing something slightly different, but it vanishes. You see it for a split second.
Do you
Around
know,
you is this library.
I had a whole plan. A whole plan. I'll see that, and then I'll take a kind of a step back, and when it vanishes, I'll look at my books.
I'm going to sit down and read at this point.
Read. Because was it a figment of my imagination? Have I been so overtaxed with all the grell we've been fighting, and seeing this thing was maybe just, you don't really play Candy Crush for 2 months? No.
All you see is candies falling down the sky in front of you.
That's right. And with that, I will probably take a step back to here, in shock, and then I'll just shake my head and then pick up another book.
As you kind of pick up the book, can you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
We've got the new dangly things, haven't we? Where are we? There we go. Bear with me, sorry. Can I do a saving throw from the new template?
Yeah, so if you click on your new template, just activate it. If you click on the up arrows, the up arrow in the circle above your portrait, you will see that it says Save Skills Tool.
Oh, fantastic.
And up there, your saves will appear. Okay, 10. The book is an interesting book. It talks about the knowledge of your people, where you came from. And it seems to confirm your own beliefs, almost word for word.
Are the rest of us able to do anything?
Yeah, the rest of you can do whatever you want at the moment.
Okay, I'm just going to dash off in the direction that I felt pulled in.
We saw it from here, didn't we? So I'm going to bellow back in the opposite direction. Kogan, rage! Medistra's vanished.
I found him, and I'm going to scream Medistra.
Medistra seems to be in an oddly fashioned library, in amongst, inside this huge cavern. There are rows of bookshelves all along the side and the back walls, and he kind of seems to be sat down on the floor, just flicking through a book and pondering its contents.
I'm going to rush up towards Medistra.
I think we were looking at the.
You were looking at the
grell, weren't we, to see whether there was any differences in the physiology and stuff.
Brain is much larger.
Much larger. Yeah.
My spells have all gone very weird, by the way. You probably need to have a look at that.
I'm still stealthed, aren't I? I did stealth. I put
as far as you're aware, you are stealthed, yes.
Not in this light, you're not.
Though you are now in glorious light from range.
Light and lighthouse.
Can I sense the people coming behind me?
Yeah.
I found some wonderful knowledge here about my people. It's just as I said, what I thought.
Well, where did you go, Medistra?
I mean, this library here. These
You
books,
vanished.
they're amazing. I didn't vanish. I just walked around the corner. Didn't you see me? I literally just walked around the corner.
So there's books all in this area.
Seems to be.
Okay.
Do we see books as well? Or
Yeah.
I've got to take a look at one.
Okay.
strange place for a library?
Well, in a place like this, you'd expect there must be room of knowledge somewhere.
There seems to be a shelf full of tomes, all seem to be describing Warforged. So, the origins of the Warforged, the origins of, the how to craft a Warforged and all that on this set of shelves.
Looking at the Twitch chat, I think it's Kath who's a Jorak, isn't it? Quickly
Yeah.
try to find a book on how to get the hell out of there.
Nice one.
Is
Nice
there
one,
a
Castle.
book that tells us about weird floaty things with dangly tentacles that try and eat our faces?
I want to investigate this corridor.
Okay, okay. You can investigate the corridor.
I'm gonna go to Medistra and take a look at the book that he's reading.
I'll pass it over.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I will try. There we go. $14.
Seems to be a book about the origins of the tieflings. No, sorry. Are you a tiefling? I've completely lost my mind.
I'm not a tiefling, no.
Yeah, the origin of the tieflings.
What does it say?
I'm pointing out various passages about what I thought and how it corresponds to the books.
The book seems to marry almost exactly Medistra's own beliefs about his people.
It seems a very strange place to have a library.
No, I don't know why people keep saying this, because we're in a cave system.
We're in a cave, you silly ass.
L'Oreal, there's a book here about Warforged.
Really? I'm gonna take a look at the books myself. What can I see on the shelf in front of me?
There is a treatise on several deities, and but they seem to be more inclined towards the moon god.
Who are the books written by?
What's this book made of, by the way?
J.R.R. Tolkien.
No, it's by Bob Smith, comparable to J.R.R. Tolkien at his best.
Yeah.
Thought you were going to say J.R. Hartley.
I was going to say that, yeah.
J.R.R. Hartley.
It's R.J.J. Tolkien. Obviously, what was it? The bookshop sketch from Monty Python. Do you have A Tale of Two Cities? Don't you mean A Tale of Two Cities?
Is it written by
what
E.A. Lanoff?
What were they made of?
Are you? I mean, from where you're stood, Jet, give me a wisdom saving throw and
God, a wisdom saving throw.
Rage, give me a wisdom saving throw.
This is not good. Wisdom, save.
Are there any?
Are there books where I'm standing then, or not?
No, the books start. Here.
Oh, okay. I'm not going into a
Okay. No. As far as you can tell, the books are books. They're made of bound leather or hide and vellum paper or traditional parchment inside.
Can I use a survival check to determine whether or not they're animal skins?
Yeah, sure.
Survival.
As far as you can tell, they are books bound in pigskin, deerskin, cow skin.
Okay, so there's different sort of leathers that they've used for different types.
Seem to be, yeah. Certainly on the section that you're staring at, which is all talking about outdoors craft.
Okay.
I'm going to put my book in my backpack.
Okay. You feel a satisfying weight in your backpack where your book is?
Fantastic. That's something to look forward to reading next time.
Are there any books which might give me insight into connection between certain music and demons?
Yes, there is a volume. Actually, it's a 4-volume collection of tales and songs of a tiefling bard and his dealings with the machinations of the emperor and his demon allies.
I shall go over and peruse those volumes.
Give me a
Whereabouts-
wisdom saving throw. You're all rubbish at wisdom. I'll just put this out there. Yeah, they're interesting books. They're probably a good 200 to 300 pages thick, actually. And as you open them, you can see score and notes describing the use of such songs, where he used them, how he used certain songs to calm demons, how he used other songs to turn demons against demons. And the last volume is how he became one of the most foremost and most renowned bards in the Northeast.
Can I attempt to play some of the music from these volumes?
Yeah, give me a performance check.
I'm going to start prodding books with my axe haft as well.
You start prodding books with your axe haft. Okay. The first song that you pick, the discordant noise that crashes about the room has the rest of your companions kind of slamming their hands over their ears. But to you, it sounds
Kelgar, what
divine. In fact,
the hell are you playing?
It doesn't sound divine. It sounds on the cusp of demonic.
The music from these books, it is
Hideous.
hideous.
I'm trying to read over here.
Not your usual good composition. This is terrible.
You are mistaken. This is
You are playing it note for note perfect. You can feel that as you're playing it, you can kind of feel the energy that's kind of running through. And you notice that on the other side, there's another one that's kind of that just says tribute.
okay. Attempt to play that.
And you play that, and actually the rest of it, it's kind of like a little bit more melodious, and it sounds a lot better. And it seems to be, it's an interesting song, but it has crashes and counterpoints in it of that music he was just playing.
It's a bit shit.
Further in, there's one that's entitled "The Seventh Demon of the Seventh Demon."
Play them all.
You start flicking
It
through.
sounds like it was written by someone who'd never seen an instrument. This is awful.
But this man became the most legendary bard in the Northeast.
Northeast, yeah.
No, he says.
Ember, perhaps.
Famous or infamous? This is terrible.
Ember, perhaps there's a book here to help you find your belt or something. It's just a book for everything.
There won't be a book for that.
Oh.
I'm going to
Just on the corner,
use
you
my.
see you see a
You
book.
guys hit me.
So, yeah, sorry. What were you going to say?
I'm going to use my medallion of thoughts, trying to
Okay.
detect thoughts.
Okay. Oh, where? Who? What? How? Why?
In the
He's got my medallion of thoughts, the one that I used to wear.
Are you attuned to it?
Yep.
You are attuned. You are indeed attuned. Let me read its description. Okay, so you will use an ability which will cast Detect Thoughts. Okay, you have to be able to see the creature.
It says I can
What creature?
It says if I want to penetrate someone's thoughts, but I can if it said I think it said it can go through walls. So I don't know what that meant because if I can't see it, then I shouldn't be able
I
to go
don't
through
think you
walls.
do need to see it from memory. I haven't got it anymore.
Yeah, so for the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you.
Right.
If the creature has an...
deeper. It's only when you go deeper that you need to be able to see them.
To take basic thoughts without that bit, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Or if you read the... If you...
You should
Why
be
does
able
it
to
say
do
that it has nobody's charges left?
You should be able to do a surface level of scan of anything around you just to see if there's any living creatures capable of thought around you, and then a deeper dive requires direct line of sight from memory.
Can I just interject into a theatre of the mind? Ember doesn't know anything apart from this library here.
Right.
Yep.
I can see it.
Okay. You can also use this spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right.
trying to do.
Okay, so you're scanning the area to see if there's anything around you. As you begin to kind of probe, you allow yourself to kind of wave. You go a little bit distant and allows yourself to kind of drift over your companions, and you can sense. You can sense 7 beings in addition to yourself.
In addition to himself.
Yes.
Guys, there's something with us here. Because I can sense 7 minds, and not including me, which should be just you 6, but there's another mind here somewhere.
And as you all kind of okay, so how are you reacting to Ember?
Looking bemused and
turn and face the centre of the room and just look around.
Okay. Anybody else looking? So anybody else looking generally in Ember's direction at this point, or are you all immersed in your books?
Well, I've just put my book in my backpack, and I'm going to turn around to make a comment and say it's probably just
hold that. You turn around to make a comment. Anybody else?
I sort of glance up at Ember.
Okay.
But otherwise, if I don't see anything, I will turn back to the book.
All right. Those of you who look at Ember, you see this. About 10 feet behind Ember and a tentacle just kind of missing the top of Ember's head. Can we roll for initiative?
It's a flying tentacle vagina.
It's a bumpolio.
Hold on.
Just kind of like bemusedly say,
I don't know what it
something behind you, Ember.
Medallion.
Go back to play.
It's out of
See-
charges, but I haven't used it.
I was hoping to role play this for the rest of the night and not have any contact with this thing.
I was all there with you, Maddie. I was all there with you. Let's just not discover it. Let's just
keep on
breathing out.
That's right.
Sorry, quick question, folks. Have we gone back to the old HUD?
I don't think no.
No, you need to click on the cross swords.
Top
cross swords.
Oh,
on the left-hand menu to pop up the new thing.
Totally knew that. I've got to remember to use the bloody thing now. Roll initiative. There you go.
There we go.
Look at me with my 3.
Where's real initiative?
Jesus Christ.
It's the dice next to the trays at the top. So you got
Got it, thank
You and me,
Yeah.
guy. You and me.
Me, king of the world.
All right. And so combat begins.
I'm so tempted to re-roll that 3.
How are we so bad at initiative?
It's at this point that I should introduce Jorak as the runner of the monster, isn't it?
Yes.
and then you can't blame me if he kills you all.
Why don't you do all that? So give him some stuff as well.
I will do. I'll talk to him next.
We'll have a guest appearance.
And we'll have a guest appearance. He can run some of the bad guys. Actually, it's a funny thing. One of my other friends, John, who's played a couple of your characters, Seaball, he is talking about doing the same thing for one of his games, where one person concentrates on running the story, and the other person runs a lot of the monsters intelligently.
Yeah.
We had a guest at our Tuesday night group last week, and he played a ranger on the side of the hag that we were fighting, and it was phenomenal because all of a sudden this ranger was acting like a player character, and that allowed John to focus on running the hag and the hag's minions and let the ranger loose. The ranger took half the party down.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It was quite deadly. So yes, Jorak, if you're listening, which I know you are, you and I will chat about some opportunities for you coming up to run some bad guys.
And then I will find
If
out
we get
whether
through, if we
Simon
get through
arrives.
this,
If we get through this, okay. So you all turn, and you're all going to make some kind of flippant comment, like, "No, you're imagining things," and you see this thing kind of half materialize from nowhere as this tentacle reaches out and then goes over the top of Ember's head, kind of almost like it's misjudged Ember's height, and it kind of just makes this strange kind of clicking noise, slightly agitated, and then we go to the top of the round with Ember.
who's
Let's
really,
not try
who's
to
really
eat your
mad.
brains, Ember.
Yeah, really mad because it's just dissed her height.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay. I'll step forward and stab it.
You brave boy!
She's a girl.
Boy.
That's halflings for you.
Oh, brave girl. Go for it. Step forward and stab it.
So we need to find a new rogue. Okay.
Jabby jabby. Oh,
Nice. Okay. You stab it. Roll for damage. As your blade slices into this thing, it seems to go in. It seems to hurt it. You didn't target it, though. Target. That was very northern. Not as northern as Jet, but,
Oh no, don't need to roll again.
19. Let's have a look. That would be 5 points of damage. Okay.
You get sneak attack, don't you? If you're the only person.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Hold your horses.
Come on. They're waiting. They want you to kill it. It's solo.
Is it dead yet?
On the first
With
attack.
one hit.
probably.
Certainly anger it enough so it doesn't attack any of the rest of us.
Okay. All right. You catch this creature. You step in and just slice. Well, poke into it with your rapier. The creature's tentacles kind of sort of quiver, and it snaps its beak at you. Anything else, Ember?
Yeah, I'm going to move away now.
Of course you are.
Run away.
Run away.
Move here.
Okay.
let's all group up.
That's just what I was thinking, Medi.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
And that'll be into my turn.
Okay. All right. At that point, the creature disappears.
I can still see it.
And reappears.
Up your butt.
No, it doesn't. No. Right. It is going to.
He's behind you.
He is behind you.
Oh no, it's
Drift
not.
forward to there. Right. So it's its turn. It's going to drift forward to there, and it's going to lash out at Ember because she has just attacked it. First with a tentacle. The tentacle comes streaking out and misses. Second tentacle comes streaking out. Ooh. Ember. Uncanny dodge. So let's see. Uncanny dodge lets you half the damage, right?
Yeah.
So let me do one
Damage
second.
already.
There you go. Okay, so that should have applied 4 points of damage to you.
I don't know what I was in the beginning.
Yeah, you were on 26. It took you down to 18. I undid that and then applied half. As you do so, it then grapples you.
With the tentacle.
Yes. You are restrained and grappled. Okay. It is going to. One last second. I just need to look at how this works. Oh, do you know, I've got it open in front of me, haven't I? Okay. Yep. And then you are dragged 5 feet forwards, and it then bites you. Or tries to bite you, but you know, despite the fact that it's got its tentacle wrapped around you, you kind of twist in and trying to kind of duck and dive out of its way, and you manage to kind of avoid it.
I'm too small.
And I'm going to launch this. Okay. Rage.
I'm trying to figure out when we last rested.
A long time ago.
Ages ago, yeah.
Not before the Grell fight. Before the Grell.
2 Grell fights, wasn't it?
Yeah, you had 2 rolling Grell fights. I think you might have taken a short rest in between the 2 Grell fights. You didn't take a long rest.
Well, this is sad times then, because I'm fucked.
You out of rages?
Yep.
Oh no.
Have to change your name.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk out.
Yeah.
Take a long rest.
next to fucking useless now. Rage for that.
Oh.
Okay, it's everybody after me. It's your turn to kill it, please.
To fuck it up, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I've got advantage there, haven't I?
Mm-hmm. No, because Rage can't be granting you advantage because he is restrained and grappled.
Okay.
I'm not Rage.
Sorry, Ember can't be granting Rage. Thank you. Ember for correcting me.
Then we will reckless attack them. And
Oh, you cheapers.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh.
8 points of damage. It shrieks as you carve into its back. It kind of drifts slightly, holding Ember up. Jesus Christ, that's harsh.
I'll take my
I thought you
free.
said you were useless.
I am. I'll take my. I'll take my bonus after my second attack.
Okay.
Rather than in between.
Cool.
So second attack.
Rage kills it in 1 round.
That's a miss.
Yeah, that is a miss, unfortunately.
And bonus attack.
Oh!
What?
Wow.
I'll take that.
Right. Roll your damage. Fucking hell.
I've spent 2 weeks pooing my pants about this fight.
I swear it all goes Pete Tong now, you know.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty much all I can do.
Before you hit end turn,
I think.
the Valhalla.
You didn't hit a bloody nose.
With Ember.
Oops.
Oh.
That's still good.
Oh well, let's carry on.
To report to
Any
Heather, you're up.
Okay.
Back to the bookshelves and carries on reading.
Yeah, I mean, so like,
What can you do? She's gone.
We looked up. There was a thing.
We tried.
Like, and 6 seconds elapse, and there's no thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't do that.
Can we have a long rest?
It teleports with Ember to there. It has to be able to see the space that it's teleporting to, so it can't teleport through walls, unfortunately. It teleports to there.
It could go right the way down
Because
into the other room, couldn't it?
teleported me
It could, but it's not.
here.
Did I hear anything to indicate that it's still around at all? Or? I can't see it.
Yeah, you can hear Rage going,
It's there.
it's there, it's really
Right.
good in the corridor to the north.
Just ping it on the map.
So it's not just kind of like a. "Huh, back to reading this book.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Two criticals. You've taken it to almost dead.
Kelgar advances to there, so drops the books on the floor where he was, advances to there, drawing the dragon force blade, and utters.
As you drop the books, give me another wisdom saving throw.
Let's go.
It's not a book you've dropped, it's a stone.
Kelgar
Glancing around.
glances at it for a moment and then
Glances around, you're in a cave with like niches in a wall with loads of stones lined up in a nice, pretty row.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's just a very brief second. That's what you register.
Shaking his head momentarily at the revelation, he then dashes around the corner, drawing the sword and uttering the phrase to burst it into flames.
No worries.
And attacks the, what's it called again? Balhanoth.
The Balhanoth. Yeah, the Balhanoth.
The famous author B.A. Lanoth.
Which of the buttons on the HUD does a melee attack now?
Have you lost your melee stuff?
Is it just clicking?
Yeah, so at the top of above your portrait, you should have two separate sets of boxes.
Oh, it's just appeared.
Dragon Force Blade. Oh God, I forgot you'd got this. Why did I give you this?
I really don't know.
Fine.
Ah, sad times.
First attack misses. Can't remember if he gets a second attack.
I certainly do.
Cool.
Also misses.
Misses. Okay.
Well, it's nicely illuminated here, so.
Hold on. Right. Teleports again. To there.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Dart swore again.
Jet, you're up.
It's gone down that way, pointing down the corridor to the northwest.
Right, he pointed right. Okay, so I'll move.
It's
then.
got dart there. Ember.
Well, I wasn't bothered about the book anyway because I'm
You
not.
hear me screaming down the corridor, help!
10, 15.
I hear
Didn't
anything.
hear anything.
No.
35.
It was just the wind.
So I can move 35 and I can see it. So I'm going to select it.
You can see it. Nice.
I am going to
shoot it.
try. That doesn't work for some reason. So we'll try the longbow. Why is it doing this? I don't know. Right, normal attack. And that misses.
All right. Bro. No, that hits.
That should hit. Did you
That
Did you target it?
Nothing's come up to say that I've actually hit it.
Have you
Roll
right clicked
your
on it?
damage. Roll your damage. No, he's hit it. This seems to be happening, but only with Jet's character for some reason.
Oh right, okay.
You might need to do a cache purge and a complete reload at some point. Maybe try that at break.
So damage. You must roll an attack before damage. Don't understand about that.
Right. So if you just roll your attack again.
Right. Okay.
All right. Now can you roll your damage?
Let's click on longbow damage. Right. So normal attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I shall re-roll that.
Okay. You're gonna re-roll your 3 for a 1.
For a 2.
Okay. Oh, you well.
Same
Yeah.
number. Okay.
There we go. Right.
Second
okay. then.
attack.
Second attack. Right. Here we go. Okay. Now it's come up with it. So I click on normal.
Oh,
Reroll.
You can only do it once. Okay.
Oh,
Your arrow slams into the Balhanath.
Okay.
You can see it kind of stuck there, quivering a little bit.
Yeah. I can't do anything else. I've moved. So I can
Shrieks again.
enter there. Okay.
it's
A bit
me.
spotty.
Right, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. Oh, I can't see anything, can I?
No.
I'm.
Actually, sorry. It's going to teleport again at the end of Jet's go.
Oh, I'll go back.
So it gets to there. Right. All right.
Right, I'm gonna dash.
I think I'm
Okay.
Dash button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's as far as I can move, isn't it? Yes. Nobody I can see is that badly injured, so I'll have my turn there.
Kurgan.
Owen. All right. First things first. I am going to. I don't think Rage can move fast enough, so I'm going to cast Rage on him. Rage on him, Haste on him.
Ooh.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a quicken spell. I'm then going to use my action for a Pearl of Power to get a spell slot back, and then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 down there and just poke Rage with my axe after and say, get your butt up there.
Yes, sir. Come, sir.
Second, I've got Rage.
He says very
targeted.
fast.
Rage should have haste on him now.
That
It
kind of
sounded
yes.
like a chipmunk.
And that's worked.
Did that not, so I targeted you and hit haste, did that not work?
No, it didn't. I mean, it might be that your haste version doesn't have the stuff associated with it, so I've got a thing to apply, so it's not a problem.
Not increased my speed, but it's done the armor class. So
Okay.
The last place I heard Ember screaming from, I presume, was up to the north.
Correct.
Yeah.
So your speed should be what, 80 feet now?
880. Yeah.
And bear in mind you've got advantage on dex saving as well if you need it.
Yeah.
And if he was awesome, he'd have had it on once per advantage on strength, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, she's gone. Never mind.
No help in it.
Okay, L'Oreala, yeah.
Moved a little way. I can't see the creature. Can I hear any screaming from the north?
Here, I guess, Ember, you're still yelling for help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll dash then. Still can't see anything.
Oh, it might go.
Top of the round. Round 2. Ember, you are up.
Kill it, Ember.
Can
Kill
I
it.
free myself from this thing?
Yeah. You can make an athletics or acrobatics check to try and break free.
Dex. So do I roll a Dex save throw?
Yeah, Dex saving throw. No, it's an acrobatics or athletics check. You break free. Just. You may place yourself within 5 feet of that square.
Go place myself there.
That is your action.
Bonus action would be to
Run like fuck.
dash.
Yeah. Boots of
Run like
Ireleth.
Dash, he can do an opportunity attack against me. So do I just disengage and then try running? Choices.
Definitely disengage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll disengage and then leg it.
Okay. As you disengage, the thing seems to shriek and squawk and croak. You all hear this, by the way. Quite a distinct sound. A sound that you've not heard before. But continue your movement, Mr. Ember. Miss Ember.
As far as I can move.
Okay. Okay. Can you make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw, please, Ember?
Okay.
Likes you. No, he can't.
It shrieks and then it flares, and you see like this pale blue light kind of burst out from it, and you appear there.
Can I roll my inspiration?
To try and
Re-roll
save?
that.
Yeah. Go for it. Sadly not.
Go place myself there.
That is your action. So you appear up in the top corner. This thing continues to shriek and cry. Its turn. Drifts towards you. Targets you. Again. Tentacle attack. Misses. Hits. Uncanny dodge. Let me just undo this 1 second and then apply half. Okay.
Well, no,
And again,
I didn't use the uncanny dodge.
you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Thank you for telling me. I assumed you had. So let me undo that then and apply full. So you should be back on 22 hit points. So I apply this full, takes you down to 9. It then drags you forwards again and bites you. Just so you know, I didn't particularly pick on anybody. It was the one that was closest to the cave entrance and the one that was the most isolated out of the group.
I'm using the uncanny dodge on that.
Okay, nice. All right. Jesus, good job you did that. So let me just undo that and then apply half. I think you're still going to be down. All right, yeah, you are unconscious. As this thing, you watch with horror as you're running down the cave, you suddenly find yourself...
Things come up saying I've got an injury. Do I cancel that? Or
no, roll on it and we'll see what happens.
Well, I've got 2 apparently.
Cancel 1, roll the other.
Well, yeah, but one...
One should be because you did massive damage, so ignore that one. Oh no, you have taken massive damage. Yes, yeah, so roll that one. The other one is probably because you're on 0 hit points. So you should just be able to hit a button that rolls. This is a little thing that I've added that adds a little bit of flavour to injuries and stuff.
Oh, select the correct damage type. I'm rolling on the
So it was piercing.
And the other one, so I roll both?
Yeah, both would be. Just roll one. Just close one and roll one. In the top corner. That's nasty. That is really nasty. Okay, that's quite nasty. Right, so just so you know, so we've got this table. I won't enforce it this week, but let you guys play with it and see what you think. And then if we like it, we'll then enforce it at the start of a session in the future. But the idea of this is it adds a little bit of flavour and a little bit of, as you can see here, this one's quite a bad one because he rolled quite high. But it adds some flavour to the attack that's just dropped you or caused massive damage. You know, why has it caused massive damage, or what's happened as you've been knocked unconscious? So the idea would be then you could brag about surviving being run through by a creature's mouth or tentacle or something.
That scuppers my character because I'm all about.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it would last for D4 days.
Maybe reduced.
Personally, I wouldn't use it.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay.
Because we've already got exhaustion for being dropped.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It kind of skews 5th Ed from what it is.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That's fine. I can disable it. Not a problem. Don't worry about it, Dart. It shouldn't
I
have
like the
applied.
idea of flavour. I could, depending on what comes of it, could be a little over punishing.
Yeah, I agree.
Flavour's cool.
I'm weird because I'm kind of biased because I play a game on a Saturday night where if you get hit on your leg, it can take it off.
Yeah, but that game's geared for that.
Exactly.
This isn't. Do you know what I mean? So I love Rollmaster and stuff like that, and it's fantastic. But I don't think 5 Ed's geared for that because it doesn't. More often than not, it doesn't go the other way with against the creature you're fighting.
That's true.
So
I don't think because I don't.
They're not set up the same as us with as much with bonus actions, and they're not geared that way, are they? So
I do think superficial. If you change it to like superficial damage,
descriptive, it'd be
yeah. Okay. Anyway,
lower hit point for a certain number of days or something.
The shot anyway is that Dart. Once again, this you're trying to run out the way, and the next thing you know, you find yourself in the darkest corner of the cave, and then you're assailed by tentacles, grappled, and then the last thing you remember at this point is seeing this thing's beak just come straight down on you and clamp down onto your shoulder, and the pain is so much that you just pass out.
It's like those tentacles all over. It's like that dwarven minister at Sunday school all over again.
Rafe, you're up.
Right, okay. I will move quickly around the corner then.
Jesus, 160 feet if you dash.
10. 20 to there.
80 puts you there, I think. Did I miscalculate? I must have miscounted.
No, that's right.
Okay. So that's your normal move.
Well, that's ball-like.
I can see a light. Wait, no, I can't because I'm unconscious.
But yeah.
That's painful. Actually, I'll move to there for
but
8.
You get an extra action, so you could still double move.
Yeah, I'll move there to 80, and then...
Okay.
That's 70.
This thing looks with surprise. If this beaked creature, as it's about to start chowing down on the unconscious form of Ember, seems to look with surprise as you come rushing around the corner, glowing, lightning kind of coruscating off your body a little bit, and going for... Oh, you're not raging.
No.
That would have been cool if you were.
If I was, it'd look cool, but I'm just
going for the extra attack action.
Yeah. And we will have to reckless.
Okay. Bye-bye, Alhonoth. It was nice running you for the little amount of time that I did.
He's not down yet.
It actually isn't down yet. That's surprising. Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
Yes, now.
I
Wow.
not being
Okay.
down.
Rage, you carve into this thing,
Motherfucker.
almost yelling, "Let go of my! That's my, that's my rogue."
Let go of my halfling.
Let go of my halfling. It's all mine. And it collapses. Give me a perception check.
Skin.
Where you swap the other 4.
How,
No.
what?
The water here is starting to churn and bubble.
Okay. Yeah, I've got nothing I can left to do, but I will turn to face it and just shout,
Damn it!
"Get your asses in here!"
Damn it! That was a legendary monster. That was nicely done. Kelgar, you're up.
That's all down to Rage, that.
If I'd attacked it, I would have got bonus.
Actually, that bit's down to Kurgan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the haste,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
A haste lasts a minute, by the way. So if something, I don't know, you might get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, you should get another 9 rounds out of
9
it.
rounds, yeah.
Okay, I've double moved to there, and I cannot see anyone. So I shall have to end my turn there.
Okay, Jet.
Okay. I think it's going to be a
You
rogue.
hear? I mean, you all hear the echoing voice of Rage bellow, "Get up here!"
35. Right. I'll
Does
have
a
to
serpent come up with a flashing harpoon stuck in its head, or whatever it's called?
Don't.
Gives you the middle finger and disappears again.
Right.
Right, that's as far as I can go with the double move.
Okay.
So I'll end the turn there.
Damn it. A Balhalla
Same
lasts
again.
1 round with your party. 1 and a bit rounds with your party. It's ridiculous.
More specifically with Rage.
Right, so I'm dashing, just asking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10, 11, 12. Is that right?
Yeah, 30 foot. Dashing gives you 60 feet of movement.
And my turn.
Okay, so we'll go to Kurgan.
Oh, it's me. Hang on. I was totally paying attention. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, no, there's all 5, 10, 15, 20.
Uh-oh.
Well, I can see fuck all. 25, 30. I can see 2 things. Bugger all and nothing. All right. 5. All right. How are we doing, Rage? Done.
Can't see anybody.
Ah, I can see Rage now. But that's a long way away. So that's double move. I don't think I can do with the bonus action in this situation. I really don't think I do. End my turn.
Bear with me, just pause a second. I'm just double checking something. Okay. Out from the water explodes this. Everybody's silent.
Can't see anything.
Can't see
Oh,
the-
sorry, I've not shown it to you. That's why. There we go.
Oh my god!
A strange tentacled creature, like a ball with about 6 or 7 tentacles. You can see in a couple of tentacles, Rage, there are a pair of morning stars. Another one has a battle axe, and another one seems to have a dagger, which looks quite dark. It's not glinting in your light. Quite the opposite. And it scuttles forwards.
Looks like something from Skylanders.
Skylanders. And then
That thing's even bigger than the other one.
I would like Rage to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah, fuck off.
You hear the Bengal meowing in the background. Okay. Rage. You go stiff as this creature casts Hold Monster on you.
He is a bit of a monster.
And that is its go.
Okay, guys, like I said, get the fuck in here.
Ember, can I have a death saving throw, please?
How do I do that?
Let me have a look at your character for a second.
That's really good that Hold Monster goes both ways.
Just roll d20. So just click on the d20. You're
It's more hold creature, isn't it? Hold monster.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
1. Ember, 2 failed death saves.
What does that mean?
It means
It
you're one
means-
step away from being dead.
Yeah, 1 step away from being dead.
Can't use the lucky halfling trait.
It didn't allow me.
No.
Is that not?
Let me just double check. That's a really good point. Well done,
Yeah,
Jack.
I thought that was on any. I just assume you rolled 2 ones.
I'm not sure that would work though because it's a death saving throw, isn't it?
I think
Yes,
it's any D20 roll. Isn't it?
Reddit says yes, it does.
The halfling racial feat lucky works with the death saving throw. So roll another d20.
Woohoo!
Well called out, Jack.
Don't roll a 1.
All over a 10.
Actually, 11
Oh.
is good because that's a success. So actually, if you look at your character sheet, where you have your portrait all in red, there's the skull.
There's a thing in the middle. I just did that just then.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. So there you go. Nicely done. All right. So that's 1 success. You are 1 step closer to stabilizing. Well done. Rage, you're up. You are held. Can you try and break this?
Usually wisdom save at end of turn, isn't it? Something like that.
Have a look. I've got the creature in front of me, so I should be able to expand this. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on the target. Yeah. So you may make a dex saving throw, please.
Wisdom, is it?
Wisdom saving throw, yes, sorry. Dex would have given you advantage.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Oh my!
We'll use my inspiration.
Okay.
I love that sound effect.
There you go.
Oh!
That is 3 crits you've had tonight.
4 if you. I had a
4.
skill crit at 20 as well, didn't I?
Yeah,
Oh, you did, yeah?
it's insane.
You managed to shake off the effect at the end of your turn. Kelgar.
Okay.
What is going on here?
Okay, I shall move to there. Whilst I'm moving, I shall sheathe my blade. Use a bonus action to hex that, whatever the fuck that is.
Okay. It's an apprehensive deep spawn. Nice.
And then using my now free hand, I shall summon Eldritch Energies and cast Eldritch Blast.
Summon Eldritch Energies and cast Eldritch Blast. Do it.
And roll a 1.
It's not great.
That's a bit more like it than the second one. And Hex did not do its thing. Was it a D6 for Hex?
D6 for Hex, yeah, so I need to update Hex. I'll try and do that at the break.
Yeah, 1. Good grief.
Okay.
Okay. 7
So
damage.
1 point of damage on it.
Uh-huh.
Has it disappeared off the tracker, by the way? Oh, no. There you go.
There it is.
I hit it by accident.
Right, that's me done.
All right, so we're up to Jet. There's
Hey.
definitely fighting going on, and you can see the flash of Eldritch Energy getting sent into this chamber.
Well, I can see it from here, so I will. Actually, I'm gonna try and move forward and see a bit more of the room. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, let's unleash some arrows. That's the idea. Okay, normal attack.
Needs more battle music, by the way, Zed.
And let's.
Battle music's playing.
Is it?
Okay.
That's
We'll take that one.
very
Second attack.
Low-key battle music as opposed to the sort of boss battle music we had for the previous one.
I take it that a 14 obviously is in the hit.
Was the boss battle music working?
Yeah.
For the previous one, we had some more boss-style music going on.
Did it
It's very
disappear?
ambient.
This is just kind of more backgroundy. Oh yeah, there's. I can hear it now.
Sounds a bit more like exploration music, to be honest.
Right, I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, shit, 30, no, 25, 30, next to L'Oreala, and I'm going to just look at this huge thing and see the fact that Ember's down on the floor. And I'm going to unleash my mistress's fury, and I'm going to raise my arms to the door. Yes,
God damn it.
and join to
You've not
the
used that
side.
for a while. I'm really disappointed you've not used it for ages.
No, it's a fair. I've got a new spell I want to use. It might kill people. Right, so I will point my hand up in the air. I will point at the creature. I shall shout "Celesti in Spiritu" while casting my Eldritch Blast.
No worries.
Twice.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, I can hit the critical hit button, can't I?
You can.
Oh!
Oh, the damage.
18 points of damage. Very nice.
And I shall rinse repeat.
Critting again.
Would be good if you can.
That'd be awesome. Oh, no.
Hits though. Roll your damage.
Poo. I can see Dart, but if I cast my healer, I won't do anything for him, will it? Because he's dead.
He's on 0. He's dying. So if you cast any healing on him, it will stabilize him and take him to a positive number based on the healing that you've cast.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. No, I'll do that in that case. My that feature target Ember
Eldritch Blast.
Oh crap! Yes.
Why?
I'll give him it all as much as I can. Okay. Oh, what have they to spend? Sorry, that's all you got in that case. I'm 5. Sorry.
5,
You
it gets
only
him
have
up.
one.
Yeah, you did use a few of the last couple of
Yeah,
fights.
yeah. So, and with that, I shall end my turn.
All right. Kurgan, you're up.
So we can see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
The music stopped.
Got some different music.
Oh yeah, it's very low.
We're back to the kind of okay. No, normal combat music.
That's just in with my boss fight music.
Oh, that just reminds me of Star Trek.
This was
You're
Critical
still
1
hasted,
Campaign
aren't
1.
you? Balls. Okay. Sorry, I'm hesitating. No, I'm going to keep haste up for now, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to target and cast a fireball. Bolt.
Firebolt.
Firebolt. I'm just going to point the staff at it and go. Oh, there you
nice.
go. Yeah, some damage chucked into it. And we are going to stay there.
I don't want to get close to this thing, to be honest. Where's Ember? Ember is here.
You don't want to get close to it? Why not?
God, no.
It's a pussycat.
Because it's a multiple tentacular monstrosity of weapons, isn't it?
Maybe.
Is that the melee version of an Eye of Beholder?
No. You've not met beholders yet.
Don't want to.
There's one behind Kelg.
No, I wouldn't throw a beholder in here as well. That would be pushing you to the limits.
No, I didn't want to move to that. I wanted to move to there. Okay. Is there not? Do we not have the measure move thing on anymore? Because that was quite helpful.
It stopped
Oh, yeah.
working,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay. Cool. What do I think this thing's going to be weak against? I have no idea.
I'm still grappled.
I'm going to try a.
But if you hold your mouse button down and control, you can drag a distance.
Okay. Yeah, to get a measure, but like you can't waypoint for movement and stuff.
Sadly not. It stopped working for some reason, so I disabled it.
A standard action mind sliver.
Nice.
Screecher. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
11 psychic damage, and the next saving throw it makes is with a negative d4.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action. Oh, there we go. Cast spell. Sorry, I'm just getting used to this interface again. I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. What spiritual weapon would thou like?
A level 2 one, and I believe I don't know, what have I got a choice of? I normally have a big purple mace, don't I, or something?
You have a big purple mace, yeah. There's your big purple mace, which I think you can move yourself.
Certainly can.
Oh, nice.
So is big purple dildo.
Yeah.
Mace.
That's getting a bit risque for his,
I know. The floodgates are open, aren't they?
That's unleashed his inner inhibitions, clearly.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh,
Pretty good
I
round.
think I'll speak, obviously, probably.
Make a concentration saving throw. Oh, yeah, I know why. But that's been
Oh,
dropped.
we don't need to now. Yeah.
No, let me just get rid of it because that's not needed anymore. Boom. All right, what's he going to do? What is he going to do?
You could go. Sorry, guys, I've come to the wrong place. I'll just go back in the water.
Goes to there.
Fuck.
Target's rage. First thing it does is it swings out at you with this with a morning star. Okay. What's a natural one? Second attack is a morning star. Will hit for 14 points of damage. Rage as morning star kind of cracks into your stomach, followed up by a flick of this dagger.
And swing away.
And go for it. What the actual?
That coda sent you seems to be working okay.
Roll attack damage. 31 damage. Second attack.
We'll do that as well.
Yes, Dart, you should have 1 point of exhaustion. So let me just throw a point of exhaustion on you. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
Yeah, you've done it. Cool. No worries.
Second attack.
No worries. It's going to hit. Roll your damage.
Bonus attack for the critical.
Bonus attack for the critical. It's going to miss.
And
You're
Haste attack.
crap.
haste attack.
That'll hit.
Boo.
Still 15 points of damage though on a 1.
That's frightening, isn't it?
Haste, doesn't it give you an attack action?
No, just one attack.
No, just one
attack.
Yeah, you don't get the.
That would be ludicrous.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. That's why I was kind of. Jesus. All right. Yeah. Kelgar, you're up.
Okay, Kelgar advances forwards, small drawing the Dragon Force Blade, and commanding it to burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
Believe I can get to there. And I shall attack it.
First attack misses, unfortunately.
Can I use inspiration on that? Actually, it's probably a little bit unnecessary. It's probably not that far from death, given the horrific wailing on Rage has been given it.
I'd say it's pretty big and meaty.
So yeah, I'll just carry on with my second attack.
Hit, roll the damage.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
plus 1d6 for Hex and 2d6 for
Fire.
Flame.
Yeah, so just roll 3d6.
And I shall also, as a free action, expend one of my bardic inspirations in a defensive flourish,
Okay.
which I think gets me roll my bardic inspiration die and deal that as extra damage to it.
Okay.
And then I also add that number to my AC until the start of my next turn.
What?
Wow.
What is my bardic inspiration die at the moment?
D8?
Wow, that is
Okay.
an amazing ability.
D8, yeah. Freaking heck,
Great
an extra 8 damage. Is this College of Swords?
Yes, it is.
I should have not let you move change.
Too late.
Yeah, no worries. And your AC goes up by 8, right?
Yes, it does.
So just bear that in mind, it's 27 then.
Okay.
27? Jesus. That basically it's a tank,
Sneaky.
isn't it? You create a tank. Certainly an off tank or an off
Mhm.
secondary fighter alongside Rage. That's devastating.
What we need.
Jet, you're up. Yeah, because Jet took the easy way option. I'm not going anywhere near the monsters. They'll have to come to me while I pepper them with arrows. I never go down, Jet.
That's
Even in a
pretty
brothel.
good.
Right.
Pretty
Okay.
good
Well,
choice.
let's unleash an arrow.
Meddy heard it. First attack misses. Your bowstring snaps because I'm evil. No,
I
it
think
doesn't.
I'll use an inspiration for that one.
Ooh, okay.
Let's have a look at my inspiration. Let's click on that, and then we'll have another go. Okay. You watch. I better roll a 1 again. Oh, almost.
I've just
nice.
realised this
Okay.
cave looks like an old man with
So
a
we
bald head and a very large nose.
have a click.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
So
Yeah. 19 points of damage. Nice.
I
Very
roll
runny nose.
I need another D8 as well.
Okay.
Let's roll the D8. Let's click on that. Okay.
Excellent.
So with second attack then. Let's click on that. Normal. I'll stop
Second
with the hit.
attack. It deflects it with its morning star.
Right, can I just see if I've got my... I don't think I've got the action surge. No, I used it, haven't I? So...
Oh, sorry, not that.
Gale roll. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm... Yeah. Okay, so I have to send me turn there then.
Medistra.
Oh, this thing looks blooded and horrible and scary as hell. So again, and I will put my hand in the air, and again, Celestian Spiritu, and call upon my mistress's wrath on this thing.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh! And as I send this blast out, I can see it tear through the middle of its eye that's there and eviscerate it. Just, yeah. And I feel pleased with my mistress's power.
Very
A
nice.
gift.
Very nice. The creature collapses in a heap with a clank as the various weapons hit the ground. The dagger kind of falling out of its kind of tentacle and just skittering a little bit, leaving this trail of blackish liquid.
Ember, do you want to take a look at this dagger? It has some form of liquid on it.
Horrible gunk.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's poison.
Can you look at it and see if it is?
Want me to pick it up?
No, do you know about these things?
I'm not proficient with poisoned weapons.
Anybody else?
Maybe I could do a survival check on it to see if it's an animal origin.
Give me a few minutes. I can find out if it's magical.
Yeah, I think we'll be resting as
Uh,
Rage takes a knee.
I'm not even looking at the dagger. I'm more concerned about the elephant in the room.
Elephant in here as well.
Run away!
What have you been summoning?
What is this thing?
Some kind of spawn of the depths.
Yeah, give me a... If you're trying to work out what it is, give me... Damn it,
Janet.
Give me a... Arcana check, please.
We're still in combat, by the way.
Oh, hold on. $2,500 experience, pretty much, for those two fights.
Is it bedtime yet?
Thanks for the rescue, everybody.
It was a pleasure.
That was a bit weird.
They were going to let you die. I healed you.
Okay. It should be lootable, by the way, if you want to loot it.
If I'd like to pick up the dagger, I'm immune to disease, but I'm not poison.
No, we're paused as well.
Oh, did I pause the group?
Did.
But I don't want to pick up anything until I've had a rest or a heal or something, because I feel really bad. Just in case it poisons me and I get hurt.
Rage's going to prop himself up against the wall over there and kind of rest.
Okay. You're going to take long rests.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll
Can we take one here? Is it okay?
Well, should we get Ember to, if she can she
Well,
set some traps up? I mean, I'd have to sleep anyway, but...
Well, we've got the hut, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I will put my hut up.
Okay, you put the hut up.
I'll put a trap here.
Oh, you don't need to, I've got my hut now, so I'll put the hut up.
Okay. You. Has anybody given me an Arcana check? Just see
Yeah,
what the
I
skill is?
failed badly.
Okay, you failed badly. Yeah. Okay. Does Kelgar want to do one?
Certainly can.
But
You
not as
barely
bad
knows.
as that.
No idea what this is.
How many ones have I rolled so far this session? I think I
think
gave
you're
all of
one-
Rage's ones.
I was going to say your ones are balancing out Rage's 20. So.
Which, to be fair, is a good
You
swap.
you can roll as many ones on Arcana checks if I keep hitting 20s.
So on that basis, let's take a 10-minute break. Come back at
Fantastic.
5 to 9, and then we'll pick up with you guys maybe looting the body
Okay.
and working out what the hell it is.
Back Charlotte.
All right.
Yep. Twin fireball. See, I was hoping that it was going to stay where it was. I was going to step up to it and I was going to do thunder step. Away from it. Thunder, 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 thunder step. Oh. Oh. That is right. So, it involves a little book where you flick through and it shows a moving image.
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah, we're about halfway through level 7.
The original Deep Spawn 2nd edition is awesome. AC 6, move 6. Its damage is 3d4 times 3 bites and 1d4 plus 1 times 3 slaps. Jetpack.
Yep, I'm back.
Just wait for Guy. I will eat my giant Watsits. Subliminal advertising for anybody who's watching the stream. Look, giant Watsits.
But those are pretty nice ones. They're the flaming hot ones, right?
Yeah.
Or something.
Not the regular giant Watsits, but not the flaming hot ones. They sound rather amazing.
They are rather amazing. Yeah.
Are they as good as the flaming hot monster munch?
Don't know. I've not had
same.
flaming hot monster much, but
The flaming hot bit is the same. Obviously, Monster Munch is a different texture and.
Right.
Oh, Jasmine brought back a whole box of Watsits from Tesco's because they were like going out of date. So I was like, "Yep, that's fine. We'll have them."
So I have to eat them today. Is that what you said? What you said?
Yeah. I'll be
Oh,
up late
no.
tonight, love.
how awful.
Emptied the water out of the hot tub, poured all the Watsits in and just dove in.
Yeah, just dove in. Oh, tempting. Although I come up with like an orange suntan, like what's his face?
All right. Well, we back.
Mm.
More or less.
You bring up your hut. Are you having a long rest, everybody?
Oh,
Oh,
fuck yeah.
God, yes.
All right. You may have a well-deserved long rest then,
Is it a new day?
and it will go through a new day. Yeah.
In this cave, which is actually a mimic.
It looks like. Who does it remind me of?
It is an old guy with a big nose, isn't it? It's
Reminds me
do you know,
of-
it's Will o' the Wisp. With
Do you know who it reminds me of? It reminds me of the guy who's in SpongeBob.
really reminds me of Keith Williams from Will o' the Wisp in the 80s.
Mm.
The BFG.
The old
Kenneth Williams.
Will-o'-the-wisp, indeed.
All right. As you all gradually come to the following day, it is, well, the cave obviously outside of your cocoon is dark.
Is it worth checking it before we leave the cocoon?
Where's my long rest button?
On your character sheet, dark.
Did
it's
I
the
detect
bed
any magic
icon.
then with my detect magical ritual?
The dagger, and there seems to be something glowing inside the deep spawn's body.
I will relay that information to the group.
What's that icon on my character that's not disappeared?
It's your
The-
dash icon.
Spiritual weapons probably gone as well as that. So.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll get rid of that. Don't worry.
Okay, hack open this deep spawn then.
I was going to say, let's butcher
Well,
rage.
As you go to hack open the deep spawn, you notice that it seems to be moving.
I'm going to pick
Say
up
what?
The deep spawn seems to be rising, falling, undulating.
Something alive in there.
And as you get closer to it, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny crabs.
Oh, nice.
Seafood plotter.
Mehdi always thinking with his stomach. So I pick up that dagger that he dropped.
Yeah.
And I investigate what it's on. What's on
It is a, it's a dagger about yay kind of big, with kind of a strange hooked blade with a small hole in it, and there seems to be a black liquid just seeping out of the hole.
There's definitely something magical inside that.
And the blade, the dagger itself is magical.
Zed, how many flasks of oil to cover this creature? 2.
How much does a flask of oil normally cover when you throw it? Is it 10 foot by 10 foot area?
Oh, I think it says it on it actually. Where?
So I would say 3.
Yeah, I've got a flask that's got a slipperiness in it, and it's if I put it on the ground, it's a 10 by 10 foot square.
Yeah, five square. Right, okay.
Call it. Is it a 5 by 5 square? 5 square.
Sorry, 5 foot square. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a little bit too small. So call it 3.
Okay. Start from the outside and then pour in, and I'll circle it first in oil, and then cover it.
Why does it keep moving?
It's got crabs on it.
I moved it by accident. And I think I've broken it. Can anybody open it to loot?
Open it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Because I can't for some reason.
So there's a dagger of venom.
Yeah.
There's a battle axe, a morning star, and a potion of invulnerability.
Okay, so yeah, to make it a little bit short, so the dagger is a dagger of venom. You can identify that, no problem. You can spend an hour kind of carving through this thing and concentrating and looking. And when you kind of look at the potion, you sample the potion, you get a sense that it's a potion of invulnerability.
Not sure what that does.
Let me put these onto the party.
For 1 minute after you drink this potion, you're resistant to all damage. The poison's syrupy liquid looks like liquefied iron. That's perfect for rage.
So I've dropped it into your inventory, and I've dropped the dagger of venom into your inventory. So the dagger of venom is a +1 dagger, so you get +1 attack and damage, and you can use an action to cause thick black poison to coat the blade. It remains for 1 minute or until an attack using this weapon hits a creature, must succeed a DC 15 contact, or take 2d10 poison damage and become poisoned for a minute. And that is the poison condition, which I believe
2d10.
the poison condition confers disadvantage.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Is that a
To attacks.
You can throw it as well.
Yep, doesn't come back to you though.
I was about to say, we should have learned our lessons about throwing magical items at things.
I was half expecting this thing to appear from the water with a spear of lightning in its hand.
That would have been just funny.
Yes.
Does anybody want the dagger of venom?
Me, of
I
course.
will
Me, of
we'll
course.
use it if nobody else wants it.
I think Dart might be better for it, to be fair. Ember, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
L'Oreal?
Ember, if Ember wants it, I'll use it if nobody else wants it.
And the potion of invincibility, invulnerability, is that ragey thing?
I'm not sure. It does give me. It'd add for. I think it's situational.
Yeah.
Because as long as I'm raged, I'm resistant to physical damage anyway.
But resistance has it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Might work quite well for Kelg or Chat.
Yeah.
Well, if Kelg's going to go
I mean,
to...
that dagger's a very good opening move. I'll be using that.
I was more thinking about giving it to Rage and let him, because he takes no damage with that potion.
No, it doesn't work like that. It
Oh,
doesn't
doesn't it? Oh, resistance to what? Resistance, sorry, he's already resistant. Yes, yeah, my apologies.
I think it's something you use when you're planning for something.
Mm.
You know, when we've got a plan for something and we're going in, so we know what we're going to come against and we need it. I think that's where we use it.
Stay on party loot then, can't it?
Yeah.
Until we come across a situation where we do need it.
Wand of magic.
Maybe Kelgod, because he's melee now.
There's also some. I don't understand why I can't open it. There are also some gold. So so the potion is inside the creature's body, and there are a number of coins and things that spill out as well when you kind of open it. So, Medi, if you want to drag them onto or whoever can open it, kind of drag them onto the party sheet, because I can't open it for some reason.
Is anyone using that wand of magic missiles actually?
No. You are.
So there's 66 platinum pieces. There's 273 gold pieces.
Hang on, I'm not putting that in the party. Wait a minute. Say again.
67 platinum pieces.
67. Okay, so
Where are you seeing this? Because I can't see anything in this side.
how many gold?
273.
Yeah.
261 silver pieces. Sorry, 761, sorry.
761.
Yeah, 761 silver pieces.
761.
And the greatest one of all, 25 copper pieces. 25.
Right.
The medallion of thoughts isn't applying its charges.
Is it not?
No, because I didn't use it at all, and it said it was 0 charges before we rest, and we had a rest, and it's still on zeros now anyway.
Okay, set it to what it's supposed to be then.
Don't know if I can. Can I?
Well, you used it once, didn't you?
I've only used it once since I've tuned to it, which was just now. Yeah, I can't edit the charges. Wait, I'm in the wrong place, that's why. Whoops, sorry. Never mind, I can.
Nice roll. How deep is this water?
Where you are, it seems fairly shallow, probably 3 feet.
I'm assuming if we go to the left over here, it's or to my right, it's going to be a lot deeper.
Yeah, very much. So the edge is maybe 2-3 feet, and then it drops significantly deeper, sort of 2 or 3 feet out. So by the time you get to that 5 foot square, 5 foot into the water, you are probably way beyond 20-25 foot deep.
Right, and that's where this thing came from, wasn't it?
No, it came from here. It came from here.
Right.
That is incredibly deep, probably close to 100 or so feet.
Right. There seems to be a lot of things popping out of the water around here. Well, in this cave system.
The water is cold.
If I reach my hand in it, is it sort of the same temperature as where the sea serpent was?
Pretty much.
I'll quickly take it back out again.
There's been many underwater channels around in this underground.
I mean, if you think the path we're following follows the river up above, does it not?
I think we're well beyond that now.
Let's have a look. How far have you travelled? Let's have a look at the map to see how far you have travelled. Approximately 65 miles since you came down here to the southeast.
Yeah, I think we're still...
Jesus Christ. Well, that's a bit scary. So, you are currently... so, those of you who are proficient in survival, give me a survival roll, but with disadvantage. Kel, you think you've travelled about 60 or so miles southeast, possibly 2 to 3 miles down. By your vagaries of between you and Ember putting your heads together, you actually think you're now over the sea. Sorry, under the sea.
Okay. Relay our
Under the
findings
sea.
to
If you're
resisting that, Medi.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
You think you're possibly, maybe even as far as 10 miles out off the pagan coast.
Seen this in Minecraft. Don't dig up.
And a map that I don't actually have in the game, I think, is where you are currently. On the edge of. I hadn't realised how far you travelled, but yes, you have travelled a long way, 60 odd miles, since you first came down here.
Which explains why the water's so cold.
I mean, you're in caves. You're underground. You're a couple of miles down. It is a constant temperature down here. It's kind of like, what's that temperature going to be?
You're very cool.
It's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. About 24 degrees.
Oh, right, really? I was going to say we're all sat here waiting for proper numbers.
About 24 degrees. It's actually quite warm.
Oh. Right, I'm feeling fresh and... Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take this book out of my backpack while we're all waiting around here and have another read.
It's a rock.
No, the book.
Yeah, it's a rock. There is no book in your backpack, but there is a stone in there about this kind of size that you don't remember putting in there.
My book's turned into a rock.
I didn't think your book was ever a book.
But it had all my thoughts made truth.
I
I
think
think
we've
that
been
creature
smoking
had us
your
under
bud.
some sort of influence.
Goddamn mind bugs. And with that, I'll throw the stone, the rock, to one side. Not into the water.
Fool of a took.
Yes.
All right.
Is a dagger a
Finesse weapon.
yeah, but also a simple weapon?
Correct.
Well, I'm persistent with simple weapons, but it says I've not got my proficiency bonus on it. It says +5 to hit rather than 7.
Hold on. Let me find your character sheet and I will fix it. Simple melee, rare, finesse, light throw, magical, details.
For some reason, it says I'm not proficient. Don't know why.
Because it's not ticked.
Oh, there we go. +8.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dart's got all the magical items, boys and girls. You do know that, don't you?
It's going to be worth a fortune when we kill him.
Together.
Gonna
Yeah.
run out of attunement slots soon.
Dagger of Venom, does that need a tuning?
No, it doesn't. Only thing that needs a tuning is the Medallion of Thoughts.
Did you have to refill the dagger though?
It's a one-off. You can only
One-off
use it once.
Okay.
One a day.
Right.
So as Dart said, it's good for an opener against a tough fight until you kind of get that poison into them, and then you can switch your weapons and wail on it with another weapon that might do more damage.
Brilliant.
All right. The only way out is either back the way you've come or continue on through the Grail Cave and out beyond it into another sort of passageway that's quite wide and then goes kind of narrow again, sort of off to the southeast of the chamber that you are currently in.
Dart, do you want to lead the way?
Me.
No, Dart, sorry, just Jet, sorry.
I'm a bit scared right now because I've just been down and a bit shaken up and been dragged away by this thingy, tentacle thingy.
Yes, no, sorry, Dart, I'm in Jet.
So if you want to move yourself, so I was clustering you together to try and move you, but just move yourself to the south. The Grail didn't have anything of interest. Essentially, the ecology was most of the stuff went to the deep spawn.
Oh.
And the Balhanath was kind of there in a sort of symbiotic relationship with the deep spawn. The Balhanath would eat most things, and then the deep spawn would get extra bits plus equipment and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, just Don't worry, I'm going to take you back to the main map.
Into the middle of the sea. Oh, that one.
And so,
Remember to check for traps.
you can continue heading southeastwards.
I can't remember where we're going, guys.
Did we not pass through that covered area in between on the corridor? Forget how you do a ping now.
X.
Do we not pass through that area?
Yeah, that's where you are. You can see where you are on the map, right?
Oh, I can, but it just seems
Oh,
all
no,
this area is
right here.
blacked out.
Yeah, it's wiped out because of the way the fog of war kind of light works. It's showing that it's not in light to you. I'd have to give you a billion light to see things. Okay.
Is that where we started?
Yes.
That was a no-go zone.
No, that's the X-Men mansion.
Over here?
The Deep Gnome
Yeah, towards
City in
the
Conclave.
Yeah.
Gleaming Falls or whatever it was called.
Yeah, it was like a, what was it called?
That was a shard of very spiky rock.
Lava flow.
Yes.
Vein.
Yeah. Which would have been awesome to go through, but
You were all too chicken.
I just moved the
Chicken.
character thingy. Was I supposed to do that?
Yeah, you can keep moving him. I'll tell you when to stop when things change. I mean, at the moment, again, you're just generally, you're starting to level out a lot more now, rather than kind of going sort of downwards. You still go down a little bit here and there, but for every mile you travel, you're now probably going down no more than 100 feet. I mean,
Kirkin, can you ask Chet
probably
if
even
you've
less
seen
than that.
if you've seen any signs of any tracks or anything?
I can do
Yeah,
that.
just assume that I'm constantly messaging back and forth every couple minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
So we've travelled another 20 miles or so down.
Another 10 miles or so down, yeah.
Okay.
I'm with Jet. Oh, I was.
You are seeing occasional signs of movement here and there.
Okay.
You know, occasionally you kind of cross.
How long has it taken us to cover those 20 miles?
10 miles so far. 3 hours, 4 hours.
Make a pretty good pace then.
Probably 4 hours, unless you're taking it slowly.
I think I'd go normal pace.
Okay. Because you can probably do 20 miles at a normal pace in about 8 or 9 hours. So.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. The path that you're on is, these caverns are showing signs of regular use, and they are very easy to follow. There are some places, again, you are occasionally going into large caves and, carefully traversing across the cave. Sometimes the path seems to go right through the middle. Sometimes it seems to hug the left or the right wall. Sometimes, you might find that the cave goes halfway across on one side and then seems to scoot across the other side and continue in kind of like an S-shaped snake or a reverse S. But for the most part, the 20 or so miles that you've continued to travel, you don't encounter anything that bothers you. There's a couple of occasions where, Jet, you kind of hold your hand up and you stop the party and you pull them up against the wall, and across a cave or a junction, you see something glide or move in the shadows. Sometimes you see groups of what appear to be dark-skinned elves just carefully and quietly moving through the tunnels, but you don't particularly, they don't see you, and you don't feel the need to jump on them and kill them because they're not in your way or stopping you from progressing.
Okay.
After, another sort of, you can keep going.
Yep.
Another sort of 5 miles. The corridor that you're coming into seems to join with another corridor that you can go back on yourself and kind of head northwest, or you can continue in a more southeasterly direction.
Time to do a check for tracks on the
Go
floor.
for it.
Okay.
Nice.
Again, there are a few tracks that go northwestward.
Mhm.
The majority of the tracks that you're following seem to come from the southeast passage, with the majority of them going up the passage that you're coming down from.
Did the people say to keep going southeast, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, main route south branches into 3. So keep going.
Yep. Keep going.
You've been on your feet for about 8 or so hours now. You've had a couple of rests, but most of the time you take very quick, almost walking breaks. You eat while you're walking instead of stopping for any length of time. You can continue. So you're probably here at the moment. Oops.
Jet, if you see a cave or somewhere we can stop for a little rest, please tell us.
Yep, we'll do. I'll look for an opening or.
We just had a rest.
No, you had a rest
8 hours
about 9
ago.
hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, we've probably got about another what? We set off 8 hours ago. Did you say? Probably
Yeah.
got about another 6 hours of travel in us.
It's worth having a short rest though, just to read.
Oh yeah. Have a proper short rest halfway through the day. Sit down. Elevate your feet, folks.
Yeah, elevate your feet. And
Taking
breathe.
taking some water, you bunch of scabby meat bags.
So have some tofu, whatever it is. Some mushrooms.
Okay. Bear with me. I'm lost. Okay. All right. So southwestward is pretty much the majority of the tracks again. You're going to continue?
Yep.
All right, keep going. You sort of get another 5 or so miles in, which is sort of another hour, sort of another 2 hours, and you are now starting to feel that fatigue. You've been on your feet for 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You've been kind of cautiously moving forwards. The passageway that you're following just seems to continue, as far as your vision goes, and you're starting to feel that little bit claustrophobic sense of the world on top of you. Here and there are a few passageways that come out, but Dart's keen eye alongside help with Amber, it just seems to continue in that southwesterly direction.
And
Heading
side
into
passages.
Distra, you come to a place where there is a passageway that heads southwards. You haven't actually seen anything for maybe a mile. You've been following what just looks like just a black cavern, passageway tube, sort of 10, 15 feet high, 10 or so feet wide, just in a kind of an almost straight southwesterly line. And it's been very tedious and not broken up by any kind of niches or small passageways or caverns that would allow you to find somewhere to camp. But then you find this, you suddenly come to this sort of opening to the south of you.
Okay. I think we'll do a quick survival check to see any movement of tracks and things.
Okay.
What's this?
Okay.
Now you look at it, I mean, the majority of the tracks are continuing southwest, but there are some hints that things have gone down this southern passageway. And the other thing, now that you're paying a bit more attention, there are some kind of sort of slight grooves in the passage that you're following, about that kind of high off the floor.
I'm not looking at the video footage. So.
Yeah, sorry, how high was that? Sir?
About that kind of high off the floor. Sort
About a
of,
foot,
maybe
about a foot.
about a foot. To those of you with trained survival skills, it looks very much like water water marks and indentations, as though at some point water has flown down this passageway. But it seems to stop just at the other side of wherever this southern passageway is. And as you look at the entrance of the southern passageway, it seems like it's been diverted somehow down there. Perhaps once upon a time this was the way to go, and the passageway that you could traverse on, that the majority of footprints seem to be, and tracks seem to lead down, could well have been a more recent thing.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? Go down this area and investigate?
I think we need to rest, so I think it's a really wise thing to do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we can rest here. I can move further down.
Rest in the place that's not so heavily tracked.
Mm-hmm. Need to get out of this straight corridor.
Definitely. So head south. Sorry, I actually meant go south and rest. But just make sure we're not going to get drowned. If what you're saying is right about the water.
Certainly
So we're heading south then,
12 inches high. Yeah.
Down this passageway.
Okay. You go down the passageway then.
I think we'll go a little bit careful. We'll do a bit of stealth. Or maybe not.
Roll with advantage, eh?
And I shall keep my eyes peeled. Or maybe not.
Just imagine what damage Rage is going to do, though.
So if you look at the map, so the top of the map up here is kind of where you have come off that path that you've been following and started to head sort of south. Searching around, Ember, there's nothing.
But I
nothing
got
fine.
anything for some reason or other.
Sorry?
Blind as a bat, didn't you? I'm not wearing my
Yeah,
glasses.
my lights dropped off.
Okay, no problem. Hold on. Hold your horses.
I've still got that exclamation mark on my counter for some reason.
If nobody else has got light, Calgar will draw his sword and use that to illuminate the way for you.
Yeah, or I'll cast a cantrip
I
on
can
the
see.
stone.
I've got my goggles. I just don't. Wasn't working.
I've got my gem of brightness going, so
Well, I'm going to do it anyway, so I don't have to use a bonus action
Yeah.
to ignite the blade.
yeah.
Combat.
It's always handy.
Goggles of Night should be working.
Yes, it was working now, but then you took it off and then you put it back on again.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, yeah. All right. Looks like what you have is it appears this is going down a little bit steeper. Unlike the path that you've been following, where, as I say, maybe, for every mile you're traveling, you might be going somewhere between 10 and 50 feet further down. This is quite a little bit, it's steeper. Maybe for every 10 feet you travel down here, you're going 1 foot down. So, yeah, a 1 in 10 gradient, or actually probably more like 1 in 20 gradient, to be honest. But there's definite evidence of water run and water flow down this passageway.
Do these look like steps at the bottom here, or is it natural?
They do look like steps. Correct.
What's over here?
It just seems to be, the passageway levels out a little bit, kind of with a slight gradient to the south. So it's on a very slight slope. And as you kind of come and investigate, it appears that this area here, although now empty, does have a slight chalky look to it, and has a number of stones and other small stones which are quite smooth.
I can't actually see anything in this area.
That's because it's rock, isn't it?
Should we be concerned that the boss music has started?
I'm
Or is that
supposed to
nothing?
see stuff in here.
No, it's creepy music.
Oh, okay.
I can't see anything in there. There's nothing walling. Walls.
Yeah, my goggles aren't working because I could only see when Rage moved down here.
Hold on then. That better, Doc?
Yeah, I can see everything now.
Doesn't stop moaning, does she?
Never.
Ember just moans all the time. She needs a good slapping by Balhaneth.
She
You're
needs,
right,
she needs
you're
a
right.
belt to match those glasses.
This is that just a raised surface or something?
No, it's a sunken surface, probably two or so feet lower than the surface that you're on.
Sorry.
It looks very much like a dry pool.
Oh.
Which way do you want to go?
Well, we need to. I would say check this area out here first. I'm not a tactical person. I just think checking before we go forward is a sensible course of action.
Yep.
It definitely seems to be a dead end, a small
Then
open sort of small chamber that ends. The source of water, the water flow looks very much like it's gone. Looks like it's gone that way.
Oh. Just worn away the rock there, I suppose.
And just worn away the rock as it's flown in and then gradually just seeped into the rock or just evaporated. They're natural. It's almost like the stone is kind of broken away, creating a sense of natural step. Again, there are signs of water flow that would have once come down here. But for all intents and purposes now, they appear to be stairs. Some of them are, they're definitely uneven. Some of them are, a foot, a couple of foot. Others are, Ember almost has to clamber down them to avoid falling and hurting herself because of the height.
Sorry, did you say this is something that can be man-made?
No, they look like they've been carved
Just
out by
eroded.
water and
Yeah.
erosion.
Whoa, I'm there.
You've continued down the stairs, Ember.
Oh. Okay, that's definitely not a natural step. I'm searching the area.
Where's everyone else?
Bottom left of the
Logan,
map.
Helga.
Bottom right of the map, sorry. Bottom right.
I can
Did
see-
everyone just disappear in front of us?
I've done the teleporting thing.
I see a monster.
Yeah, so do I.
It's a transfer from one map to another, so you need to get onto that last square and then.
Yeah, but
I see something ahead.
How did you end up over there?
You've gone to a different transition point.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Let me move you back.
This is why we're like, have we gone through some other dimension? Because
I just saw
Because
someone.
it's a Hydra.
Right.
Our character friends are traveling through that creature.
Okay. I don't understand what's going on. Let me move you guys to
Yeah,
where you should.
we ended up on an entirely different set of stairs.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
don't
decided.
Excellent.
What happened there?
I was wondering if this was like some really clever kind of like
Party
some
separation.
sort of monster.
No, I know
Screwing with
exactly
you guys.
I know exactly what's happened here.
Was there an error between the keyboard and chair?
There was definitely an error between the freaking keyboard and the
It's so annoying that don't make desks, but I have the same problem with mine. My slide out keyboard thing always catches underneath my arm, my chair. When I fall asleep, it goes, I thought this was going to be like Umbrella Academy if we've seen the latest season.
Started watching. Seen the first episode. It's pretty
Still,
good.
still catching up on Stranger Things at the moment.
Yeah, I need to do season 3 of that.
For some reason, I can't actually select it.
Almost caught up with it, almost up to speed, except I think that the second half of the season is out on Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, my boy's going to binge watch it tomorrow.
I've just ordered the official Hellfire Club from Merchoid, but apparently it doesn't ship until August or something like that.
Oh,
so
God.
really running behind on their schedule merch.
Okay, so as you come down the stairs, I brought you all down the stairs now, so that should be good. As you all come down the stairs, yeah, Ember, as you and Jet kind of turn around the corner, you see a very strange sight. Something, you effectively see this. A large snail with a sort of a scintillating shell. 4 strange mace-like or morning star-like tentacles, and then just like some kind of quivering thing at the front. And as you come down, it immediately rotates. And let's roll for initiative.
Oh, balls.
Do we have a pan big enough for this?
I don't want to eat snails.
For fuck's sake. 3.
I don't think any amount of garlic butter is going to make that palatable.
No.
Oh my god! What are we doing, Guy? What are we doing wrong?
What are you doing? Really low initiatives again?
You're feeding the rage.
I found my initiative. Hang on, bear with me.
Oh, there's more than one.
Told you.
All right. They seem to turn and
A sluggish flail snail. Really?
flare
It's got a house though.
towards you. Rage.
Are we fighting these or eating them? What are we doing?
Yes.
I'm not sure. They're approaching us.
Appear to be.
Okay. I don't like these. Everything's got bloody pods. I can't see anything, so it's 10 foot. 20 foot. 15. 20 foot. Ah, there you go. Suppose. I'm gonna put my axe on the floor. Draw my longbow.
Okay.
Shoot the front one.
Shoot it.
second attack.
Second attack, your arrow goes wild, missing.
And then I will drop my longbow.
Okay.
And still got 10 foot of movement. So as part of a movement action, I could pick a weapon up, can't I?
Can you interact with weapon? Yeah.
Okay, so I'll pick up my axe, then move another 10 feet. And that's me done.
Okay.
Ah, no, it's not. I will rage as a bonus action. No, I'll see what they do, actually. Now, if they wipe me in the first round, I'm not going to be happy. So, yeah, that's me done.
Can't you just sprinkle some salt on the floor?
I haven't got any. I don't. If I was a a flesh bag, I'd probably have it for cooking, but I don't.
Yeah.
Evil. Why would you want to do that to these things? What have they done to you?
They existed, basically.
I mean,
They
one
initiate-
of them's deceitful, and two of them are braggadocious. So
All four of them initiated combat with us.
They didn't. They just turned to look at you.
Well, they did make us roll initiative.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we're slowing it down so that you can act, slowly and think about how you want to respond. Kelgar, you're up.
So you mean to say that they're just coming to greet us?
We can ride the great sea snail.
Let's have some combat
Get
music,
some-
shall we? Show some really hefty combat music. Where are we? There we go.
Although I'm not entirely sure I want to be tanking these just yet. I am going to sling a hex at that one.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Zed gets excited. All right, cast hex.
he's getting his special books out.
No.
And cast getting the cat out of the rock. Go on. All right, go for it. Hex, 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 hex.
I kind of have an idea of what these things do, having fought some 3.5 edition versions.
Okay, and can I prepare or hold my action to attack if one comes into melee with me?
You may
Melee
do that.
range.
Indeed, you may.
Marvelous. Do I need to press a button on here in order to do that, or am I just ending?
No,
my
just remember.
Okay.
Just remember. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. Jet, you're up.
Okay. I shall target this creature, and then I shall go for an attack. Ah, dear me. Okay, I shall then go for another attack. Bum. And okay, so actually hit. Oh, I'm going to roll that again.
Go for it.
And that's a little bit of a d8. So click in there. Oh, no, that says 2d8. Just hold on. Click in there. Right. And oh, come on.
Perfect.
Unbelievable. Right, and that's it. I'm going to I'm probably going to move actually just to here, and then I'm going to end my turn.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Braggadocious flail snail. Kinnick. Do they really move that fast? Jeepers.
Meep, meep.
No. Quite the opposite. Okay, that's it done. Ember, you're up.
Okay. I presume that's a miss.
Yep, it's a miss.
Okay, I'll step behind Jet and hide.
Okay. Okay.
They're not me.
You
Right.
All right. You think you've hid well, Medistra?
So I move forward and I see this huge snail. At which point, can I move to the side? Yes, I can. So I can still see it. I'm going to. I'm going to whisper to Rage, or say to Rage, there's more than one, or just this one?
I could only see that one.
In which case, Celestine Spiritu.
Okay. Can you roll your attack with disadvantage, please?
Oh, I certainly can.
$19. Okay, roll your damage as normal.
Boo.
Why are you nodding in an informed manner, Dave?
Because I know what these things do.
They've actually changed. So the version I've got in here is the Volo.
No spoilers, because I'm not going to open my mouth, and I'm certainly not going to play to my advantage on it.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying they're different. Because I've got the book, the latest Molden Conan's book. It's a slightly different set of abilities. So we will see what happens.
Right, and with that, with 2 shots, just 2?
Both shots should have been with disadvantage.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, there were. Yeah, there were.
The
They
second one
failed.
misses. Yeah.
Yep, I'll imagine. When do I get 3? 11th.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I'm done. I'm spent.
Slithers forwards to there. And then I think it targets Kelgar, because I think you're in range. Yes. And a flail tentacle whips out at you. And it has 4 of them. Well, that's good, isn't it? 5 of them. 4. Okay. All right. So first attack misses. Second attack. Ooh. Do you have a reaction you wish to use, Mr. Kelgar?
It's prompting me. Not sure if I what Was it a crit? I think I get to
No,
know.
it wasn't a crit. No.
It wasn't. Okay. I'll take it like a champ.
Okay, take like a champ. This thing hits you for 6 points of damage. Make a concentration saving throw, please.
Okay. That's just a regular con save, is it? Or
Yeah, just a regular concentration save. No problem. Next attack. How many have I done?
2 so far.
Great, and then the last one. Well, it's just these like flail-like tentacles on top of his head just all whip out towards you. One of them catches you. The other 3 kind of just miss, and you're kind of relieved about that. Then, as a bonus action, it's going to invoke shell defense, and you watch as the thing suddenly seems to just sloop up inside its shell.
Okay.
It's like Squirtle from Pokemon.
Well, it's definitely not just coming to greet us. Zed lied.
It is. That's how they say hello. Like
Oh, because it hurts like hell.
high fives.
They do it below
Okay.
the knee. Hell low.
L'Oreala, you're up.
Right, moving out.
And as you move out, you can now... could you see it beforehand?
I could not.
Okay, so as you move out, what you see is this just very large, scintillating, kind of pearlescent shell just sat in the middle of the floor.
Did I see one of the boppy things hit Kelg from where I was? Because I could see Kelg.
Yes, you will have seen some kind of tentacle flail thing just whack into him, and several others kind of whipping around him.
I'm going to say, what the heck is that?
If you put your ear to it.
A lot of spiky testicles come flying out and hit him. That's what they were.
Yep, pretty much. I would cast Spiritual Weapon, please.
Okay, another spiritual weapon. Giant pent dildo incoming.
Can you tell we've had a rest?
Yeah.
How do I do this without using or like a spell slot?
Just cast it without consuming a spell slot.
Yeah, but how do I do that? Does it give me an option? Ah, it does. There we go. Oh, I'll take that.
Nice. Nice.
Wacko.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Seeing my spiritual weapon slam home, cracking some of the shell, I will follow that up with a Toll the Dead.
Okay.
And I will wince as I do this. Did anything
Okay.
happen?
Yeah, it succeeds. Okay, what you watch as the spell... Oh, no. No, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Okay.
No.
Move forward in front of Medistra, holding up my shield. Then my tongue.
Yeah, but that's how it's done. You step in front of somebody.
It's me already. Oh, well, I can't see a fucking thing. I think we're going to keep things simple. I'm just going to raise up the axe haft and cast a fire bolt.
Okay, can you do so with disadvantage, please? Sorry.
I can. I will do that again. That was a 9 and a 4.
Yeah, no. Your firebolt kind of hits the shell, and you seem to watch it just disperse over the shell. It's like twinkling of colour comes off the shell as it does so. Ooh, let's have a look. Where are you? Another one slithers into view and then also disappears into its shell.
It's almost like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Okay. So there, and likewise disappears into its shell. All right, top of round 2, Rage.
I will step forward. And I will rage. Still disadvantage on this, is it?
No, attacking at the moment is normal.
Okay. Then I definitely will go. I'm just going to attack it then.
Your axe just clangs off the shell, seemingly doing no damage. And just kind of glancing off it.
Second attack. I should have used my hammer.
And again, just kind of glides off it as you kind of try to chip into it, and it doesn't seem to have any effect.
Stops and looks at his axe and Winston, yeah.
That's not what normally happens.
It isn't. Can I move around it?
Yeah.
Okay. Move to there.
Okay. Put yourself to there. In between two shells. No problem.
Yep. Won't be in a minute, but you know.
Okay. Kagar.
Okay, Calgar moves to there. Yeah, these things seem pretty tough, judging by Rage's challenges on cracking them. But Calgar will attempt to follow suit as well.
Okay.
And
You get advantage.
strike it with his blade.
Again, you strike at it with the blade, and your blade just kind of bounces off it, leaving a trail of fire.
Okay, second attack.
Okay. This time, you manage to kind of find a way to get at the flesh inside the shell. Roll your damage.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
And 1 for Hex and 2 for the Flames. D6s. And I will do a defensive flourish.
It is dead.
Oh. Okay, then I won't do a defensive flourish, I guess.
Okay. You manage to kind of get your blade inside it. You almost kind of grab the shell and half lift it and just jab it up inside, hoping for the best. And you feel this thing just kind of get very heavy and lifeless.
Have the flames suitably cooked it as pre-prepared escargot to go?
No.
Gonna need more work. Right, I shall move up.
Okay. I'm going to move it. I'll move it off the board for now, but I'll remind you how many you kill at the end. Okay.
That sounds ominous.
Anything else?
I'm going to move to there if I can.
Okay. Jet.
Okay, let's select it. We can. There we go. And then let's unleash hell with these arrows. He says.
First arrow snaps as it hits the shell. Splinter just going past Rage.
Yay.
Second arrow kind of goes into the shell and sinks in about half the length of the shaft. Roll your damage.
Okay, I'll take that.
Nice, 10 points of damage. Okay.
And then I shall end my turn.
All right. This thing comes out of its shell. Oh, it's not in its shell, this one. Stops there. Goes into its shell. Bit of a pain. It takes me a couple of minutes to reset the creature's stuff. It goes into its shell. Okay, Ember, you're up.
Okay.
So can I just check? Is my lighting set up right? Because it should be 30-30.
What's it set as?
I don't know. I can see up to there, which just looks like 30 feet.
Ignore that. I've just done it wrong. There you go.
Looks fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Points of damage. Sneak attack.
Nice.
Again, your bolt kind of finds a weakness in the shell, penetrating inside it, and this shell kind of quivers for a second.
Got a fine feeling they're immune to non-magical weapons.
Anything else, Ember?
No.
Can you see the damage in chat?
No. Well, I can see the points going. No, I can see what I rolled.
Right, okay. No worries. Anything else, Ember, or are you done? Medistra, you're up.
I'm going to be stupid here. And I'm going to run, move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, can I do it? 30. And while doing that, I'm going to draw my mace, my justice mace.
Okay.
I'm going to pummel this shell.
Okay, pummel away.
Why is that thing waving around his crotch?
Medistra with his mace of justice.
Yes,
that's
my
Medistra's
mace. Disadvantage? Or normal?
No. Normal.
Oh.
Your mace glances off the shell, though, does no damage. Wait a minute, that seems a bit low.
Yeah, I'm really crap.
You're really crap, but I still think it's wrong. You are proficient with simple weapons, right?
Yup.
Justice is a simple weapon. And yes, It was not taking your proficiency into consideration. So re-roll your attack.
Sure, okay. Yeah, I got lower. That's awesome.
But your proficiency at least is now included. So
Why,
there you
thanks.
go. Okay, yeah, so your mace kind of glances off this shell. There is a kind of a dull, sort of somewhat muffled ringing sound, but other than that, nothing else happens.
Can I
No,
shout to the
no.
party? I think they're immune to anything but piercing damage.
Well, I've never seen these things before, so I'm going to end my turn and go, oh!
Guessing.
L'Oreala.
Is my mic still working?
Yeah.
Right, because nobody seems to pay attention to anything I say.
I hear you.
I hear you, but I don't.
Yeah, just in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I just don't know what these creatures do. I've never seen them before.
I can strike at it with my spiritual weapon.
We've
So-
been hitting them with other stuff other than
Okay.
piercing, which has been working.
You need to make that with disadvantage, please.
Okay. Do I just roll it again?
Yep, roll it again, please.
The power of rage is upon you.
Not compels you.
Let me just double check the wording. Well, hold on. Let me just double check the wording. Okay, so it's a melee attack. Does it use your melee attack bonus, or does it use your spell attack bonus?
It's a melee attack that uses my spell attack bonus. My spellcasting ability.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
So then, technically, it's a spell attack. Okay.
So that misses, I take it?
Yes, it misses. And
Damn.
as you hit it, your spiritual weapon. You watch your spiritual weapon kind of glances off it, and suddenly is this one at the back here that you attacked?
No, it wasn't. It was
this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the shell just bursts out. Can everybody within 30 feet?
It's pretty much everyone. Not quite yet.
Everybody,
Just-
everybody up to everybody from Kelg. So Kelg, Rage, Medi, L'Oreala, and Amber all make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh dear. Help if I was trying to roll a Constitution saving modifier from my own character as opposed from my spiritual weapon.
That rolled over 17, back to a 17, then onto a 7. In fact, I'm going to use my inspiration. Who's that rage again? Chuffing hell.
And me.
I'm going to use my inspiration and re-roll mine. I'm hoping for a 2. Oh.
Okay. Those of you who got over 15 take 2 points of damage. Force damage. Those of you who got less than 15 take 5 points of force damage. So I'm looking at L'Oreala and Medistra take 5, Ember, Rage, and Medistra.
Yeah, I re-rolled, used inspiration.
Okay. So literally just L'Oreala then is taking.
Kind of makes sense.
We haven't got Kelg. Have you rolled?
I got.
And
10
you,
points
I
of
missed yours.
damage,
Yours at the top. So you're taking 10 points. 5 points
How much
damage.
damage am I taking?
10 points.
5 points.
5 points second.
Medi, do you have that brooch on?
Ember, you are taking 2 points.
2 shakes, I'll find out. Oh, brooch of shielding.
You take no damage.
Is that me?
Yes.
Oh, but mother.
As your brooch seems to absorb the this flash of forceful energy that kind of washes out and emanates from the shell.
Good call, L'Oreala. Thank you.
Can I take a reaction on that?
Yes.
Well, I'll do the same thing, actually. Oh no, I need to take damage, don't I?
Yes, you do need to take damage for hellish
Arms of
rebuke.
head
I
up.
think.
What are you doing? Hellish Rebuke?
Doing arms of head are.
I certainly am.
Okay. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, and takes half damage if it does succeed.
Okay, hold on.
Well, I rolled so badly that I mean it doesn't really make much difference, right?
Target?
My spell DC is 14.
Okay. All right. So it fails. So how much damage does it take?
It takes 5 damage, which
5
conveniently is exactly how much damage it dealt to me. So, ha! Tit for
What
tat.
level is Hellish Rebuke?
I cast that at level 1.
Level 1. Okay. All right. Anybody else taking a reaction to L'Oreala's attack, to the snail's reaction to that? Okay. L'Oreala, anything else?
I will lash out with a Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Of course.
I just need to undo this a second. Bear with me. It needs to make another saving throw. It's a Constitution saving, Wisdom saving
No,
throw.
wisdom. Yeah.
Okay, so it fails.
17 necrotic damage.
Okay, no problem. Anything else, L'Oreala?
I'm going to move up behind Medistra, advising him to perhaps back off if needed.
Okay, Kurgan.
Alright, so here's the deal. I wasn't paying attention.
Getting late for you, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm not going to last that much longer.
No,
but-
I'm gonna stop it at the end of this round. I think.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
In that case, I think there's really only one thing I can do.
Oh god, I wish I hadn't moved forward.
Knowing that everybody's so close to it, it doesn't leave me with a lot of choice.
Fireball.
Yeah, exactly. I think something like that should be alright.
I was
Okay.
joking.
All right. This is going to be fun. All right, it hasn't prompted me for saves. Okay, so
It hasn't prompted you for what? Sex?
saves.
Oh, saves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's a different program.
Dexterity saving throw, right?
Oh, don't ask me that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, plus the thematic. He brings his axe haft crashing down as it bursts into flame. All that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Role play.
Roleplay.
Okay. So
I'm too tired, honestly.
all right. So judging by this,
You're all fucked.
no, I need to just undo. I need to undo this one. Apply half. And okay. There is another bright flash of energy, but it won't reach anybody because it's not going to affect you, I don't think. Oh, actually, it would. I need Kelgar, Rage, and L'Oreala this time to make saving throws, please.
Constitution again, or
Constitution again.
Is that Medi as well?
And Medi, sorry, yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm taking it and you're in front of me, you're fucking taking the roll. You're my shield. It's not going through you.
I didn't have to last time.
Oh, Constitution, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Kelgar, L'Oreala, Rage, take 6 points of force damage.
Oh.
Medistra, you would take 12 points of force damage were it not for that meddling medallion.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mother.
If it wasn't for you pesky medallions.
That medallion, yeah.
Okay. Kurgan, anything else?
I think we're just going to quietly take a
I need to
step
do a
back.
concentration save as well.
Okay, yeah. Please do that, Kelgar.
Kurgan's trying to kill me.
Oh.
Okay. This time, the force energy washing over you interferes with your concentration, causing Hex to drop.
Okay.
This snail in front of you, the shell flashes. Suddenly, a kind of a massive scintillating rainbow of colours just explodes from it. Where's my glasses?
Is that the snail that says that and puts it on its...
Yeah. It now sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius, dim light for an additional 30 foot. Can anybody within the bright light, so anybody within 30 foot of it, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Sorry, within what of it?
30 feet.
Oh, that's not me.
So that's literally ember upwards.
I think about
Oh,
rerolling.
why do my saving rolls so crap?
I'm assuming that's a fail, in which case I will use Fanatical Focus reroll.
Okay.
Which will do, Kakal.
All right. So just select you all. Ember, did you roll?
Yeah, I've got a 10.
Okay.
Some very bad saving throw rolls, that.
I cannot
You
do
are
saving
all
rolls.
stunned. Until the light ends.
Oh,
which
that's
is
some
the
prophecy shit.
end of the snail's next turn. And then it pops out of its shell.
Surprise, motherfuckers!
This one pops out of his shell, moves a little bit closer. And let me just reset its armor class. That is where we will leave it tonight. Top of round 3, with most of the party stunned.
Stop casting spells on them.
Yeah. Next time I tell my kids to come out the shell, I'm going to say, no, just stay the F in there.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Guy, thank you for weathering the lateness tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
it is late for you there.
Thanks for the
thanks,
stun.
Ed. Yeah, it was a brilliant night tonight, guys. Well played all.
Good to be back. Good to see you all again. And looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
No, you didn't die. You didn't die. I mean, Rage saved the day yet again.
But we are getting bested by a bunch of fucking snails.
You are indeed
Really
getting bested by a
slowly.
But we could have kited these.
Have you seen how fast they're moving? They move 10 feet around.
I feel like the Austin Powers when he stands there going, no!
Ember can outrun these.
Yes. Oh, bless. All right, so we're back on Monday, aren't we? 7:15. Everybody okay for Monday?
Yeah, should be. Yeah.
Cthulhu, yeah.
Trail of Cthulhu. So whoever's watching Trail of Cthulhu Monday, 7:15. Your mind is going to go.
Has anybody got what? Dark?
Gone mad yet?
No. We do have stability loss rippling through the group,
Yeah, I was bitten by a cat.
and
Got some rabies. Got some rabies on the way.
bitten by a cat.
But I got better.
I go, meow. I'll be fine. And we'll be back on Thursday for episode 44 to see if we... Do you know, we kicked ass with that, Rage kicked ass with that bloody mind growl thing. And yeah, we're going to get slowly death rolled by snails.
Just goes to show, doesn't it?
It does. Oh, God. I hate you.
Yeah. Well, you know. I've had this is something, you know, back in the dim and distant time when you actually fought that sea serpent and lost the javelin of lightning that you are so bitter about. This was an alternative thing that you were going to encounter then. So I just thought I'd put it in here tonight for you to enjoy, because these snails are awesome.
And we were way too low level back then. God Christ.
Indeed.
These snails are not awesome, they're horrible.
Oh,
They are different, though, in Modern Canaan's Monsters of the Multiverse to how they are in Volo's Guide. Very different.
I've not seen them in Fifth Ed, actually. I've thought something through my
Are they what, higher level or have they got all
No. So I won't give anything away, but one of the abilities that they have was random ability as a reaction to something. Now it's a fixed reaction, and it was the top thing you could roll on the randomization chart. So it's pretty. They're a little bit harder in Modern Canaans for anybody who's watching and thinks about using them. But they are good. They are fun.
They really look quite cool as well.
Yeah, they do.
When all said and done. Oh, it's a snail. Oh, it's a snail.
It's a 10-foot snail.
Yep.
With
With
a
5
rather
flails for a head.
With a rather large thing on its head.
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm going to drop and see you all
Yes.
soon.
take care, all.
Yeah.
Thank you again,
Cheers,
guys.
folks, all.
Safe.
Hope you enjoyed it.
See ya.
Bye.